that's a seatbelt.
I'll put it here. Way harder with a collared shirt than regular, than a t-shirt. What's up? 2025. It's almost over. We're getting to the end of the year. I think there's like 4 or 5 weeks left. I got a little drive ahead of me up to the north side of Jax. I got listing photos on a new listing that's coming online in a week or two. This one's pretty cool because I actually sold these people this home like 3 years ago. They've lived in it. Their family's grown since, separating from the Navy, and they're gonna make a move up north, I think, somewhere. And so yeah, it's time to sell this house. So I always feel good when people are calling me back and they're like, hey, you sold us this home, you did a great job, now we need you to sell it to somebody else so we can move on with our lives. So I figure while I'm headed up there, I'll give you a little life update on what we got going on. 2025 has been a crazy year for me, crazy year for our business. A lot of stuff changing. Basically worked the whole year to kind of just shrink and simplify our business. Made a lot of cutbacks. Some we were forced to do. My personal sales are down like 50% on the year. So that's a pretty big decrease. And I'm going to give you a little bit of insight as to why. We're still successful, still doing a good job. But home sales have just fallen off. But we're in this weird, interesting time where we're still in this seller's market where the sellers really still have kind of an advantage here in Jacksonville, to be honest. It's just that there's good inventory and there's bad inventory. So if you've got a good house, you've got an advantage. If you've got a bad house, then you don't. And so that's probably the quickest way we can sum it up. For me, my business got a little slower this year, just because we were making a lot of changes. And then also in that, I took on a new role as a broker and partner at Someday Homes. So not just an agent or a broker associate there, but taking on a role as a broker, taking on a role as a partner, part owner in the company, which I'm really excited about. So stepping not all the way out of sales. Obviously, Shauna's got her license and we still work. We've got, like I said, she's over in Green Cove Springs today doing a walkthrough on a new construction deal that closes next week that she handled. I'm headed to the north side. I've got listing photos on a listing I signed with these folks. And so we're still in the sales world. We're not walking away from it or letting our clients go, or our VIPs mainly. But I am stepping into and taking on more responsibilities in some leadership and management and ownership positions. And I'm really excited about that after years in the business, being able to take the next step, if you will. Now I'm not just concerned with Nate Riggs and his personal sales, but I'm concerned with Someday Homes and the future of what we got there and all the sales of our agents, compliance, reviewing all the contracts that come in, making sure everybody's got all the signatures they need, they've filled in all the price points that they need, and nobody's kind of putting together bad deals. So I'm oversight of transactions, period. And then also on the recruiting side, I'm looking to grow the broker. Matt and me, my partner, we're having a ton of conversations, a ton of meetings about once a week. We know what our culture is, but how do we share that with agents in our area who might be a good fit? We might be a good fit for each other. That's basically been occupying a lot of my time as well. So you've got a market that's down. I'm also spending time working on taking over a brokerage and working to grow it, and I'm still in the sales world. So super busy year. At the same time, personally, an absolute insane year for me. One of the toughest years that I've had in a long time. Hit a lot of things that if you had just one of these happen to you throughout the year, then that would be tough. And I had several. It seemed like back to back, and at times it got frustrating. And even in my own headspace, I got a little, I don't know, a little down, a little negative. And so I've really been kind of working to pull myself out of that. And I had another recent experience with just in the past week that I'm going to share with you that it felt good. It was a really sucky experience. Ended up in the ER basically again. I should have like frequent flyer miles at the ER, but ended up in the ER again. But this time it really felt not just like a physical reset, but kind of a mental reset too. Like, hey, this is what it is, and it's time to press on. So I'm just gonna recap the year to start. Basically, I had something I needed to get surgery for. And so towards the beginning of the year, I was preparing for that surgery. I think that was like March, so right off the bat, Q1, third month of the year, right after we started picking up some steam, I went in and had a surgery, arthroscopic. You've got robot arms and cameras inside your body. You're getting a lot of repairs done. That took like a week or more to recover from, so that's time off work. That's laying in bed, sitting on the couch. Tough to handle for somebody who's looking to take those next steps, growth of the business. So right as I recover from that, we went down to visit my cousins. In fact, I played like the best game of golf in my life. I started deadlifting heavy weights again, so you can tell I took some time to rehab from that surgery and get my strength back. Then I get another injury. I literally, in May, slip and fall. This is unrealistic. I step in a shoebox, and on the tile floor, just out from under me. And I'm pretty sure I had like my guitars were sitting there, or something was sitting there, and I didn't want to knock all that over. So I, mid-fall, tried to adjust, reach my arm out to brace myself against the dresser, and end up dislocating my whole shoulder. The shoulder comes down here, and I've had dislocations before in my knees. Holy cow, we've got to almost come to a complete stop here. Brakes are a little worn out in this truck, so I try to feather them as much as possible, so when the freeway is like, whoosh, stop, I gotta really get on them early. Anyway, so my shoulder's out. I try to put it back in myself. It's not going in. That sucks. And I call the fire department. I'm home alone with the kids, first of all, which was terrible. I had just gotten out of the shower, so I'm trying to, like, you know, one hand, like, dress myself while my arm's down here. Call the fire department. I'm thinking maybe these guys will just old school put it back in. Nah, they won't do it. I got it. They don't want to be liable for it. There's a lot of ways you can make the injury worse than it was by doing that. So I understand, but anyway, they can't do it. Shauna comes home from work, rushes home, because, you know, I called her and told her about it. And so I go off in the ambulance to the ER, and they put me to sleep. Now, second time, 2 months in a row, going to sleep, or 6 weeks apart, put my shoulder back in, whatever. So from that, I've got it in the sling now for 2 weeks. I'm gonna be honest, didn't really stick to the 2 weeks in the sling, but did my best. So now I'm kind of down. I'm not playing golf. I'm not doing any of that stuff again. And we're rolling into summertime. And this is really where I need to be peak performing at work. Matt and I had already started having our discussions about the partnership and all that. So not only do I need to be really crushing sales, because this is kind of, as the sales come up in spring through April, June, that's our biggest sales point. And then there's this, like, they're kind of at the mountaintop throughout summer. A lot of people want to be in their home before school starts, or they want to be out of it and making those changes then. So it's a busy season. I work in a very seasonal industry, and before it closes off, I need to be peak performing. Well, here I am, arm in a sling, frustrated, trying to figure it out, trying to schedule doctor appointments and trying to get physical therapy, or do I need surgery, or what is it? And we're here in November, and I just set an appointment for, well, I didn't even set an appointment for an MRI. They called me and they were like, hey, we're gonna get an MRI. I'll tell you more about the story. I'm like, okay, I don't really have time for all this. I just gotta, like, deal with this. So I'm just dealing with the shoulder, got on the Google, I'm looking at exercises I can do. And the shoulder's like, I mean, it's bad. I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to work on the range of motion. To this day, my range of motion, that's why I gotta get an MRI, because the physical therapy the x-rays are showing there might be some damage on the bone, and they're like, we might have to reshape the bone. So this is very like mentally, remember I said I kind of was in a funk? Well, this was part of the funk, right? And so we go through summer, then we get the back to school cycle going. And back to school, like these schools these days, there's like events every single day for like 2 weeks. Like you meet the teacher, tour the school, and then we got multiple kids in school, and then like they don't sync it up. 5th grade is this day, and then kindergarten is this day, and then they're pulled apart, and then you've got, anyway, it's a 2-week process. I learned I might as well take 2 weeks vacation when the kids go back to school. Now you're into late fall, then everybody gets sick, and I don't know if it was like COVID 2025 or something going on, but I have 4 kids and my wife, so a household of 6, and it's like it rolls through you like twice. What happens is like the first kid gets sick, and then you think they're coming out of it, but kid number 3 gets sick, and then 5 days into theirs, I get sick, then Shauna's sick, then the other kids, and then it rolled through. One kid got sick twice. Shauna and me, we all got, it seemed like it was like a month and a half of sickness, literally in bed sick. So I'm like, here I am in bed again. I've had surgeries, I've had injuries, I've had sickness, I have kids that I have to do things at their school with. I'm losing a ton of work time, all in a market where sales numbers are down. Everybody's down. I just looked at the metrics for other brokerages, our brokerage. We're still doing a lot. We've still done a ton of business. 35 million in sales, 75 units sold just from a small group of us on our team. Incredible. That's something we can brag about. And that's being 50% down personally. I got another agent down 40%, got another one down 37%, and we're still doing 75 units and 35 million. So I can't really complain too much. We're doing well for who we are. After that, I've got this sickness, and believe it or not, the sickness is almost just gone, and I'll tell you why. Because now we're rolling into event season again. But now we've got one party here, party there, lunch here, Thanksgiving at the school, so taking a lot of my time, and all of a sudden I can feel it. I can feel it again. I got this health issue that's kind of looming, and it's unrelated to my surgery. It's something totally different. Boom, last Saturday, I'm back in the ER. Luckily this time, before when this flared up, I was in there hospital jail for 5 days, living off the IV only. Luckily this time, they loaded me up with antibiotics, shot me up with morphine, and sent me home. Like unbelievable morphine. And I don't know if you ever had morphine, but morphine hits you hard, and then you feel like absolute trash. I don't think it's fun. Went home. Now I'm like vomiting every last ounce of anything I got in me, gone. And I'm on the recovery end of that, still feeling some pain, but I'm taking these antibiotics, and I can tell already, like, my sinuses have cleared up, all this stuff. So being holistic, we're not, even though we kind of, the household was sick, and we did break down, and I did, you know, I mean, I'm like sandy wiping the house daily during this sick period, where normally we're not like the family that's hand sanitizers, sandy wiping everything constantly and afraid of germs. We're more like, hey, go out and build your immune system type family, which ours is pretty well. We rarely get sick, but everybody in Jacksonville was sick. Even Trevor Lawrence played a football game, and they said he had the flu. It was like the same time period. So coming out of that, I got the 6, now the antibiotics, now you can hear me. Even if you go back and watch some of my past videos, my voice is, I'm stuffed up for like months. It was discouraging. But anyway, I'm back, I'm fully back, and I'm feeling good, and we got 5 weeks to close out the year, and I know we got parties and holidays, and I'm definitely gonna take time off for Thanksgiving next week. But all I'm saying is, mentally, I'm in kind of the best headspace I've been in for a long time. So I'm really excited about the future. I'm excited about my future, my family's future, excited about the future of Someday Homes Realty and everything we got going on there and our plans. And I just wanted to hop on here and share a little bit about that with you. My content has kind of been struggling over the last couple years. You know, I really enjoy doing the vlog, this type of content the most. And I've got this personality. It's not like it's not that I go after the shiny new thing, but technology is always changing. The content's always changing. And you do have to play the game a little bit to stay relevant. And unfortunately, sometimes I let people get in my headspace. Hey man, you should do this, or what if you started this? And I invested a lot of money and a lot of time into some other paths. And honestly, they didn't perform well. They didn't do good. I didn't really feel as comfortable in them. And so being a year where you're down, you start making cuts, you start making simplifications, you start getting back to the basics, right? The fundamentals. And so I'm kind of rolling in, and I'm like, all right, the blog content is the best vlog content is the best content that I like to do. So I'm just gonna stick with that. I'm good at that. I actually enjoy it. Plus, I think you guys enjoy it better. So I figured I'd hop on, give you guys that little update while I'm up here. But I'm about to hit my exit. We're gonna check out these photos, and then we've got, believe it or not, a Friendsgiving tonight that we're headed to. So we'll see how that goes. And from there, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just kind of taking it. Oh, tomorrow I gotta head out to Stark. We're gonna go look at a property that might be pretty cool. Some clients I've been working with for a long time that have been searching and searching and searching for a property, and it's kind of the type of property we're gonna go look at. It's not that you're searching and you can't find it. It's that they don't really exist, except for every once in a while they pop up. And the buyers are very specific for this type of property. So there's usually, your buyer's not the only one. So like I said, when the market is in this kind of position that it's in, like, you got to kind of hop on and go. So we're driving out to Stark. It's like an hour west of Jacksonville, and hopefully that turns out well. And I think we might be able to finish the year pretty strong, and I'm pretty excited about it. Like I said, Someday Homes Realty, our team has done, we're just a small brokerage. Really, there's only like 3 or 4 of us that are selling consistently, and to do 35 million in sales, have another 8 million in the pipeline right now. These are properties that we're negotiating the marketing or under contract, and that's a lot. 75 deals. And that's our on-market stuff. We do a lot of off-market because we also do the construction business, and we also do, you know, I've got guys on our team that are doing fix and flip. They're buying their own investment properties. They're going to listing appointments and ending up just purchasing the homes. So those deals don't even show up in the metrics that are published. So the published metrics, you're looking at finishing the year at 40 million. That's incredible. I'm excited about that, and excited for the goals we set for 2026, and I'm ready to just take you along for the ride. What up, dude? Shorts on and a short fade up top. It's Michael Roulette, real home image.
Little vlog going?
Yeah, a little bit, you know?
I like it.
It's the best content I make, and I haven't made it in a long time.
I like it.
They're about to get these cars out of here, get out of here, and we'll just do our thing. Easy day.
Saying rinse and repeat, baby.
Easy day. Well, Michael's inside shooting the house. I figured I'd come out here, talk to you guys a little bit about Alta Lakes. It's this neighborhood that's on the north side of Jacksonville, conveniently located next to 295, just after the zoo exit, just north of the Dames Point Bridge. Pretty easy to get to Mayport or any naval base from here, as well as like town center. It's only like 15-20 minutes south of here. So great location, great price point. You can get houses in here for the high 2s, right around 300,000, mid 300s, and above, depending on what you're looking for. They've got these houses here are houses that are kind of what you would call an entry-level house. And then at the front of the neighborhood, they've got houses that maybe have a little bit different finishes, similar floor plans, same builder, but those are maybe move-up houses, so a little bit higher price point. So there's some options here. Community pool, they got a big field where kids can run and play, or let your dog run. They've actually got some like soccer goals with like field goal posts up on them. So I've sold a lot of homes in this neighborhood, just going down the street, looking at them. This house that we're selling here, I actually sold in the past. I sold it to these folks, selling it again. And then as I look down the street, I sold that house, I sold that house. And then around the corner, I sold that house once, and then I sold that house twice. And then at the front of the neighborhood, sold some of those houses as well. Great little neighborhood, north side of Jacks. really kind of, if you're coming up the right side, the eastern side of Jax, you come up over, and then from here it's easy to get to like Fernandina Beach. The Jacksonville Ski and Gun Club, where you can shoot shotguns, is right around the corner, which is a pretty cool spot. But yeah, I like it. I'm excited about this house. I think it's gonna look good. I think it's gonna be a good sale, quick sale here, as a market kind of activity picked up a little bit, and we're hitting it. We're getting ready for that spring market, but we're getting ahead of the curve, getting it ready to go.